I've just been sat here trying to work out how to express how... is revolutionary too big a word? Just the sort of how the dials have all just gone whoom, straight up into the red with almost everything on this. And the way I've just been thinking about it is this. The episode before this story, the story before this story was Dragonfire. I've not even started, Jen. You're yawning.
Sorry.
A perfectly serviceable Doctor Who story. Good fun, nice performances, brilliant. The story before Case Ranzani was Planet of Fire. A decent story, you know, good fun, the Master, all that. The story before City of Death was, I think, Destiny of the Daleks, is that right? Which, again, good, fun story. So in terms of the trajectory of just the quality of the stories, if you were to rank them, you know, with numbers and stuff, then, you know, I think that all three of those share a sort of similar path in terms of the general sort of quality. Okay, we can debate that till the cows come home, but I'm going to go with this as my working hypothesis. But there's something new about this. So City of Death felt like the best late era Tom Baker story. It had all the hallmarks of a Tom Baker story, but with just everything on firing. And the Case of Ranzani felt like Robert Holmes absolutely writing his masterpiece alongside Graham Harper flexing his directorial muscles and everything falling into place. There's something different about Remembrance of the Daleks. Yes, the transition from Dragonfire to this is remarkable, but whereas I think both City of Death and Case Ranzani summed up something about Doctor Who that was already in existence, Remembrance of the Daleks feels like shooting into the future. In a way that maybe, if we're going to do these comparisons, which seem to be doing, Power of the Daleks does, maybe. Spearhead from Space does, maybe. This isn't a regeneration story, but just in terms of the nature of the programme, this feels like a different Doctor to Dragonfire, etc., etc. This planning, this scheming, that's a whole new thing. The Doctor's always come up with plans on the fly, but this plan's been in motion since flipping 1963, according to the history of the programme, of course. Surely the Doctor knew. When the Doctor talks in this story about, you know, Daleks rocking up, he's talking about back then, isn't he? Surely he's talking about back then. Which makes, you know, the Daleks interesting, but Ben Cook's tried to sort that with the colorisation. But anyway, we'll move on. Crikey. Let's just go through our suites and work out, you know, the suites. After the bait and switch of the last episode, we just get a bait and bait because Davros rocks up. Get in. I've nicked that from a podcast, so I'm not clever enough. A bait and bait, where you're offered something and then you get that thing. So, you know, Davros being used in a brilliant way, actually. Davros being used to enhance the Daleks rather than detract from them. You know, it's the first time, really, that's been the case, I would say. Especially since you've got the Black Dalek as well. That's fair to comment. We've got the Black Dalek still. That, oh, my God. God, how evil is the Doctor when he kills the Black Dalek? Oof. And then you get the Special Weapons Dalek. I mean, oh, my God. As a kid, the Special Weapons Dalek was the coolest thing ever. And it still sticks in my mind, the novelisation. I know we've not really delved into novelisations unless you're Humphrey. But the novelisation of Remembrance of the Dalek, Slib, gets a couple of passages from the perspective of the Special Weapons Dalek, who every time he fires his gun is more mutated by it. Oh, it's so good. Then we get the double act of Rachel and Alison, who are just blissful in this. You know, really, like that line you left out loud. Is he okay? I don't know. I'm a physicist. That was great. We get Mike, and we get Ratcliffe dying, good, and then we get Mike dying, good. You know, can't betray my guys. And that.
He was a bit of a loose character, wasn't he? Loose, weak link.
It works. I think within the context of the story, it works. And I think that, you know, It's interesting, isn't it? How oftentimes towards the end of a story, you'll get, if there's two little plot strands running, one will feel secondary to the other, or and we get that here because we've got Ace sorting out the Mike situation. That felt as big, really, as the Doctor sorting out Davros. And oh my gosh, the speech that he gives to Davros, it is etched in my mind. I've nicked lines from that for school. You know what I mean? It's just absolutely embedded in my mind. That unbelievable stuff. So genuinely, been thinking a lot about it over the last few days, and let's clarify, because my relationship with Classic Who is different to New Who, because Classic Who existed, 26 years of it existed, frozen in amber, if you like, before it came back.
Frozen in amber?
No, not frozen. What do you do with amber? Stored in amber, trapped in amber. No. Because Classic Who, I've been able to have it in my head as a separate thing. Let's just say Classic Who, and there are a couple of things that could crop up that could challenge it, but genuinely, and I know I've said it over and over again, this is the greatest Classic Who story. There's no question, because even if you are weighing it up, in my opinion, and obviously we're all different, argue with me, tell me it's Talons of Weng Chang, if you wish. If you were John, I don't know what Paul would say. He'd probably say Caves. But I just think this is everything I want my Doctor Who to be. Everything I want my Doctor Who to be is here. Just unbelievable. Unbelievable. So, yes. So what we're left with here, we're left with a Doctor who suddenly seems dangerous. But dangerous on our side. And that's...
Dangerous.
Sorry?
Good dangerous.
Good dangerous, yeah.
Effective.
Oh yeah, no messing about with this Doctor. We've got a companion who is just on fire. Ace is just class beyond class. And it seems like we've suddenly got a vision for the programme, and we've also got, and this can't be understated, dialogue that does multiple things at once. And, it's very easy for me to say, I'm not a writer, but when you've got a Doctor Who story that can have a line that progresses the plot, gives you some character, and is a joke, then you're absolutely flying. And then we had that constantly in this. Non-stop. Just absolute genius. So there we go. The next story I'm very excited about. I'm not sure the last time I saw the next story, but I'm really excited. Oh, gosh, here we go.